can you remember the exact tone of voice of a person who betrayed you 10 years ago? But you cannot remember what you had for lunch last Tuesday. Your brain is a biological computer. Unusually, it is efficient. It deletes the useless data of daily life to save energy. But there is one file it refuses to delete. One file that it keeps on the desktop. Open. Running in the background. Draining your battery. It waits for the silence of 3 in the morning. It waits for the smell of a specific perfume, or the sound of a song you haven't heard in a decade. And then, without your permission, it drags you back. You are no longer in your bed. You are back in that room. You are back in that argument. You are back in the moment the glass shattered. Your heart races. Your palms sweat. Your body is reacting to a threat that ceased to exist years ago. Why does the brain do this? Why do we remember the pain with high-definition clarity, while the joy fades into a blurry watercolor? Welcome to the psychology of the unresolved. This is not about nostalgia. This is a haunting. It is a zombie file in your hard drive that cannot be closed. Today we are going to open that file. We are going to look at the code. And we are going to perform an exorcism. Not with holy water, but with neuroscience. Welcome to the Watchtower. Let us begin with the architecture of the ghost. To understand why you are haunted, you must understand the Zeigarnik Effect. Zeigarnik was a Soviet psychologist who noticed something peculiar in a cafe in Vienna. The waiters could remember complex orders perfectly as long as the bill was unpaid. But the moment the bill was paid, the moment the transaction was closed, they forgot the order instantly. The brain holds onto open loops. It purges closed loops. This is efficient for a waiter. It is torture for a human being with trauma. When you go through an event that does not have a clear resolution, when you do not get the apology, when you do not understand why they left, the brain tags this event as an open loop. It puts a red flag on the file. It says, "Warning, this scenario is not resolved. Therefore, we must keep it active in the RAM. We must replay it until we find the solution." So you lie in bed, and your brain hits the replay button. It is running a simulation. It is trying to calculate a different outcome. If I had said this, if I had done that, maybe the ending would change. But the ending never changes, because the event is fixed in time. You are a rat in a maze with no exit, running the same path, hoping that this time the wall will turn into a door. This brings us to the biology of the scar. We must look at the hippocampus and the amygdala. The hippocampus is the librarian of the brain. It takes memories, stamps them with a date, and files them away in long-term storage. It says, "This happened in 2015, it is over." But the amygdala is the alarm system. When a traumatic event happens, the amygdala goes nuclear. It floods the system with stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. This flood disrupts the hippocampus. The librarian gets knocked out, so the memory never gets filed. It never gets a timestamp. It remains floating in the system. Timeless, present. This is why when you remember the event, you do not feel like you are remembering it. You feel like you are reliving it. To your nervous system, you are always in the room. You are always being hurt. You are trapped in the eternal now of the trauma. Friedrich Nietzsche spoke of the eternal recurrence, the idea that we are doomed to live the same life over and over again. For the person with unresolved memories, this is not a philosophical concept. It is a neurological reality. You are trapped in a time loop, and the tragedy is that you are missing your life. While you are arguing with a ghost in your head, your children are growing up. The sun is setting, but you do not see it, because your eyes are turned inward, staring at the screen of the past. But there is a deeper layer. Why do some memories haunt us more than others? Why does the awkward comment you made 10 years ago sting more than a physical injury? Because it attacks your identity. The memories that stick are the ones that contradict who you think you are. If you believe you are a good person, and you did something cruel, that memory will burn, because it creates a crack in the ego. The ghost is not the event. The ghost is the part of yourself that you rejected in that moment. You are not haunted by the person who left you. You are haunted by the version of yourself that was not enough to make them stay. That is the brutal truth. We mourn the dead, but we are haunted by the living parts of ourselves that we had to kill to survive. Let us deconstruct the illusion of memory. You think your memory is a video camera. This is false. Science tells us that memory is reproductive. Every time you access a memory, you are not playing the file. You are rewriting it. This is called memory reconsolidation. You pull the book off the shelf. You read it with your current mood. You write new notes in the margins, and then you put it back. The memory you have of the event today is not the event. It is a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy. It has been degraded, distorted, fictionalized. You are being haunted by a story you wrote. And if you wrote it, you can edit it. This is the red pill. The ghost is not real. The ghost is a hologram projected by your own insecurity. You are the projector, and you can turn the machine off. But how? How do we close the loop? We need a protocol. We need to manually override the amygdala. We call this the sovereign rewrite. Science has discovered that there is a window of plasticity. When you recall a memory, it becomes unstable for about 4 hours. It becomes like wet clay. In that window, you can change the shape of the clay. Here is the mechanism. You must go back into the memory, but you must not go back as the victim. You must go back as the sovereign. Close your eyes. Visualize the scene that haunts you. Freeze the frame. Step into the scene as your current self. The self that has survived. The self that has wisdom. Walk up to your younger self. Place a hand on their shoulder and tell them what they needed to hear in that moment. Tell them, I have got this. We survived this. Then, turn to the person who hurt you and strip them of their power. See them not as a monster, but as a flawed, broken human being. See them shrinking. See them becoming grey, static, irrelevant. Then, and this is crucial, change the ending. In your visualization, do not let the loop repeat. Create a new resolution. Walk out of the room. Fight back. Say the words you swallowed. Your brain knows it is a visualization, but your amygdala does not. Your amygdala responds to the imagery. If you give it a resolution, even an imagined one, it will mark the file is closed. The red flag will come down. The loop will break. But there is another type of haunting. The haunting of the road not taken. The regret of potential. I could have been a musician. I could have married her. These are the ghosts of parallel lives. They whisper to you that you made a mistake, that you are living the wrong timeline. This is a lie. There is no wrong timeline. There is only this timeline. The other lives do not exist. They are fantasies. And fantasies are dangerous because they have no flaws. In your fantasy life, you are never bored. You never suffer. You are comparing your messy reality to a pristine hallucination. Of course you feel like a failure. You are competing with a dream. You must embrace the concept of Amor, Fati, the love of fate. This is not just accepting your past. It is loving it. It is realizing that every scar, every trauma, every mistake was a necessary brick in the cathedral of who you are today. If you remove the memory, you remove the lesson. If you remove the pain, you remove the strength. You are not a victim of your history. You are the product of it. The ghost is not your enemy. The ghost is your teacher. It is haunting you because you have not learned the lesson yet. Once you learn the lesson, the teacher leaves the room. What is the lesson? Usually it is about boundaries, self-worth, the fragility of life, that breakup that haunts you. The lesson was that you must love yourself enough not to tolerate disrespect. Extract the data, discard the emotion. This is the alchemical process. You must also use the body. The body keeps the score. Trauma is energy trapped in the nervous system. Animals shake when they escape a predator. They tremble, they discharge the energy. Humans freeze. We stiffen our upper lip, and the energy stays trapped in the fascia. You must release it physically. Run until your lungs burn. Lift heavy weights. Scream into a pillow. Show your body that the threat is over. You cannot think your way out of a feeling. You must move your way out of it. Why do you keep the ghost alive? Because the ghost gives you an excuse. As long as I am haunted, I do not have to try again. I can stay in my safe hour of cynicism. You must be willing to lose your identity as the victim. This is terrifying, because who are you without your pain? You are a blank page, and a blank page is scary, because you have to write something new. But you must write. The pen is in your hand. The ink is your will. Do not let the ghosts of yesterday dictate the story of tomorrow. They had their time. They had their scene. Now they are extras. There is a Japanese art called kintsugi. They take broken pottery, and they repair it with gold lacquer. They do not hide the cracks. They highlight them. The bowl becomes more beautiful because it has been broken. Your memories are the cracks. Your wisdom is the gold. Do not try to be the person you were before the event. That person was innocent, but that person was fragile. You are no longer fragile. You are complex. You are deep. You have texture. Where your ghosts like medals. They are proof that you have lived. They are proof that you have survived. The door to the past is locked, and you have thrown away the key, not out of fear, but out of respect for the journey ahead. You cannot drive the car if you are staring in the rearview mirror. Look forward. The windshield is wide. The road is open, and the destination is entirely up to you. We are Mind Ministry, and we are watching.